Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one. It's been tough times, people. Tough times. It's been difficult to move on from the humiliation we suffered in the hands of, guess what? Nottingham Forest. People have been coming after me from different texts, everything that they can get my hands on. It's been crazy. But we need to move on. I think that's the best thing that we can do for ourselves, which is moving on. And nothing is better than actually playing another game and try to right those wrong back, because we were wronged. We were wronged as fans of Liverpool. We were wronged, and I think this is an opportunity to try and show the world that no, this was a small blip, and we can work on ourselves to try and get ourselves better so that we can come back again, a new game, a new team in a different country, ready for action. Because you guessed it, it is Champions League time. The Reds are back into the Champions League. Remember, after last season, the season before they went out, just missed out by a single point, if I remember, or maybe two. When we finished number 5 in Manchester United were in the Champions League then. So we were not able to play the Champions League format that we have known for such a long time, because it was changing, and we had to be playing that in the Europa, where Atalanta, kind of like finished our dreams. But we're not living into the past. We are here now. It's Arne Slot's era, and we're excited over what's going to be happening. So I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you excited over the Champions League, and what are you expecting? There is a good news that is coming from the manager, though. He has just confirmed with us that Federico Chiesa could make his debut tomorrow at the San Siro when we play against AC Milan. So do me a favor before we go far, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. I'm here to be the guy that tries by all means to cheer you up after a crazy time that we've just experienced as Liverpool fans. So I'm going to try to be cheering you up, telling you what you should be expecting, and maybe I'm going to put something there from the Enfield website so we can just talk about all the things we're expecting from this game. So are you ready? I know I'm ready. So let's get into the video. So what are we expecting tomorrow? We were humiliated by Nottingham Forest, losing by 1-0. Our first goal of the season, which was scored, and we just could not respond. That's why now I think we're number 4 now in the Premier League table. Yes, because Newcastle did not lose to Wolves. It means they move and they go above Liverpool, because of the way we started the season before, because of how the league went, all led us into, the words that we don't like to say, in no good. So what is the most important thing that we need to do now is to rise back, and we're going to be playing a different competition, trying to focus our attention to something different, which is going to be the Champions League. And I know I am excited over it, and I'm trying by all means to be really, really motivated so that we can see a better performance to what we saw the last game we played. I want my team to play like a team that enjoys what they're doing, who are actually training, who are actually understanding themselves. Of course, there were so many people who were taken out in the way, on top of so much criticism from our own fan base, from the rivals who were taking a piece or maybe laughing at us, or even anyone. So now it's time for us to rewrite those rules, and I think this is the game, a challenge that nobody's not going to say that that was a smaller team. It will help us to overcome if we play so well, and I'm hoping that this is going to be one of those games we're going to be smiling against. So I'm excited. Are you? Let's get into it as we look at what is written on the website here, as we're going to be reading 10 things to expect. I think they said 10 key things to know as Liverpool returns to the Champions League. Remember that we're coming back from the Champions League. So after counting down days for Liverpool to return to the international break, we did not get the great performance or result we had hoped for against Nottingham Forest. That is true. The first under Arne Slot is needed as Reds return to the Champions League action. Here is everything you need to know about what we could expect from the Reds and what honestly needs to do to get the team back. So, firstly, no injuries. So, the good thing that we can all be proud of is that all the teams, all the players that are coming in, nobody's injured. The team is ready and they are ready to actually come in and perform. So, coming into this game with no any injuries concern, that's a good thing. And except Harvey Elliott, who's out for I think it's a month or two, is going to miss a lot of games. So that's the only one that you could be worried about. But all in all, there are no injuries. We can be able to focus. And by the way, that jersey that these guys are wearing, that's exactly the Champions League jersey. I like it, the training kit, the Champions League training kit. We're going to be seeing it more often as they go into the Champions League. So that's slow squad training as normal at AXA on Monday afternoon, and thankfully there is no new injury concern to leave him with plenty of choices to make over the game. Javier was the only absentee with a fractured foot as 24 of his teammates got their preparation underway for the trip to Italy. The training team dwelled by one as 23 were named in the traveling squad. Federico Chiesa will be on the bench, and Arne Slot hinted his first minutes for the club on the cards. Yes, he did hinted that. I think I've said that in the beginning of this. Arne Slot did give us a bit of a hint that Federico Chiesa might be actually going to start his first game for Liverpool. You might perform for the first time in front of the Liverpool fans. Of course, will be at the San Siro. That's still okay. Let's get him the minutes. We want him there so that whenever we're making some decisions, we have one of our players who's gonna be there and excited to play. So I'm really excited over that. I cannot wait. We need to move on from our embarrassment. So let's see what happens there. Time for rotation. So of course, I've heard this moving around, and I've heard it so many people talking about this that Liverpool needs to start to do some rotation. We cannot continue playing the same team. Look what happened, and look how things turned up. We need to start to at least try to put some different players who can come in and give a better performance, who can come in to do so. But okay, I understand. We are hoping that we see rotation, but maybe the manager understands he wants something to work out. But one thing I know, there are going to be so many games in this moment that, of course, rotation are going to be key. Rotation are going to be some things that are going to be done so much so that at least we understand how the team is going to be moving on. Like, I get it. People don't understand what's happening, but we have to it has to make sense to us. We did not perform well, and I get it. Maybe we need to give some of the players a chance again to keep performing, or maybe the manager is just going to say, nope, we're done with that. So we focus on another one. So it's going to be exciting and interesting to see the angle the manager does take. I'm hoping that it is actually the decision he makes. It's not going to be pushed by the media and whatever that happens. We saw it under Gareth Scrapgate. That never works proper. So let's hear what they're talking about terms of time for rotation as we go into it. Surely Slot makes changes for this one, right? That's the question. He wasted the opportunity to do so against Forest with only 72 hours between games. A bit of a rotation has to be on the cards. Of course, I'm not refusing that. What I'm saying is this. If he's going to make a rotation, it should be the rotation that the manager agrees will help him to win the game. But if he feels like the team is fit and they can continue, then I don't see any need for rotation. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you think, but that's what I'm saying and what I think. You could make an argument for nearly all of the outfit players to be shuffled around, but four may be the magic number on this occasion. For what do you mean four? Gerard Konza, Connor Bradley, Curtis Jones, and Darwin Nunes would all be injected fresh legs into the starting 11, and are more than capable of getting the job done. Some big picture thinking is needed for the manager. This the thing that I really want to make sense for people who are listening. I get the rotation. I get that we need to see some different changes. I get to see some players coming in, but I don't want those rotation to be things that are pushed onto the manager. I want him to make decisions according to what he sees, how he understands this team is going to be set up. Like, I want him to decide what is going to work for the club, what will help the team in the Champions League, because we have just lost our first game under the manager. And one thing that I'm expecting from him is for him to choose a team that won't disappoint when they get into the game, the team that will not disappoint him when they're actually in the game to perform. So that's what I want to see. I get it. People expecting rotation. I get it. Some hint of what the world expect him to do. They're all hints. They're all hints from what the world expect him to do. Him as a manager, he understands his squad. He understands what is needed. And I believe he has what it takes to make the right decision. So as much as they're saying that the rotation is needed 72 hours after the game, give a chance to those players to go rewrite their wrongs. Give a chance to Konate to go do better. McAllister, according to Slot, he said the reason he took him out is because he was not 100% fit, but he's saying that he's fit now. Give him time to go through that. Give Diogo Jota a chance to go prove it. Then if it doesn't work, then on Sunday or Saturday against Bournemouth, that's when you make the rotation. That's when you get the other teams, other players to come and try it. So I get what they're trying to say, but no, it's too early. That's what we call a panic attack. And the way I've always seen Arne Slot being comfortable and being calm at the dugout, I think we need to trust him that he'll get the best out of this team. So that's what I think. I don't know, I want to hear of you. So let's continue with this. So this is the prediction lineup from and this is Enfield. They're saying that Alisson, Bradley, Konza, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, McAllister, Jones, Salah, Diaz, and Nunes. It's interesting. Let's talk about form. So number 3 is talking about form. Let's hear what they say. Liverpool started this season strongly with 3 wins on their spine without conceding a goal, but they were all brought back down to earth on Saturday in the 1-0 loss against Forest. Oh my God, they're gonna keep reminding us this thing. Arne Slot lamented his side's ball position was not of the standards he comes to expect in the Enfield defeat, meaning his side are on the position of a reaction. Of course, they are on post for a reaction. Of course, that's what we expect. Meanwhile, Milan got their first win of the season on Saturday and needed only 29 minutes to wrap it up, scoring 4 goals without reply. They now have 5 points after two previous draw and the defeat. So in terms of form, looking at the teams and everything that is coming on, when you look at all the games that has been played from all these 2 teams, you can all say that, okay, Liverpool are on the best of forms. They're ready to perform and they can do better than AC Milan, but they just won their first game and they're on a high. And we saw some of their perfect some players performing. I get it. Everything is still not yet really, really straightforward as we want them, but we all can see that there's a lot of things that needs to be done. And Liverpool were brought down to earth. I think our defeat has more we can explain it better than what has been happening with Milan. They've been dealing with so much, like having what we call civil war. Some players not really in agreement with the managers. A lot of things has been happening. I get that is their problem. What are we here to do? How are we going to be responding as Liverpool? That's all that I'm asking for. So it's going to be interesting to see how the manager set things up and exactly what we will see as we go forward. Let's continue with our readings, shall we? Injuries to key players hindered Paulo Freire's side. He hindered Paulo Freire's side, and the Reds will hope they can capitalize on Milan's inconsistent start. Yeah, I get that. We want to take advantage of that. This is Slot's 3rd season in the Champions League. Yes, we know that. Of course, it was him is it Champions League or European football as a whole? This is Slot's 3rd season in the Champions League. Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was just European football. Anyway, let's read on what they say, then we can come back to respond on that. While this fixture will be Slot's will be Slot's European debut as a Liverpool head coach. He has had twice led. He has he has twice led a team in the competition through, although only once in the group stages. In 2020-21, AK Kazam were beaten in the qualifiers, and last season Feyenoord team finished the third in their group and dropped into Europa playoffs. And I remember that only Jeroen Hulier at Celta Vigo in 1998 has lost his first European game in charge of the Reds. Let's keep it that way. Oh my God, I love the histories when they come in. I love the histories as they always throw it out there. Of course, the manager is coming to play. He has been there with 3 different teams in the Champions League. And of course, you would be expecting a better performance from what his past teams have done. He has a better team than his past teams. I'm sorry to say it, but that is just the truth. He has a better team, and of course, we expect him to do better with the team that he has now. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything works out. But one thing I can confirm, let's see what happens. That's the only thing I can say. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens for the new manager. No Origi reunion. So Diva Origi is on AC Milan books, but he would take no part, having been demoted to the reserve team. A transfer was expected this summer, but no movement. Of course, it happened. The striker played for the Italian side in 2022, but he has never settled, and he will have to settle for being a bystander on his former club comes when his former clubs come to town. A real shame. Football is nothing without Origi. I actually feel sorry for this guy. By the way, I was born on the same day as this guy. I was literally born on the same day. So it's a bit shame and it's a bit painful because it's kind of like I feel like I'm like talking about my twin in a way. Anyway, I'm joking. Let's move on from that one. As for other team news, for the host, they are without Ismail Benenko, Alexandro Florence, and Marco Spolletella, while defender Mark Tio and David Calabare are both in the doubt. AC Milan have their derby on the weekend, so they could give Florence some selection headaches. I cannot speak about the prediction lineup. 4,000 Reds at the San Siro. So of course the supporters that will be going there for the first away game in the competition. Liverpool received an allocation of about 4,395 tickets, which accounted for less than 6% of the stadium capacity. The San Siro is around the 75. Speculatory, but earlier indicated that the Reds travel fans will certainly be hard throughout the evening as the Milan are struggling to sell tickets. Recent form and the ridiculous ticket prices, which range from about 340 to something, are to blame for the around 20,000 tickets still being on sale. Oh my God. For example, a ticket at San Siro section, whatever they call the upper stand, it's around 139 pounds. That's crazy. No, euros, which is around 117 pounds a piece against Liverpool. But for the next game, for them, it's around. Why then? Why do they have to rise for the Champions League, then drop them for the next games? Which it doesn't even make sense. Rotation not to blame against Forestry. If you go watch what Arne Slot said, you understand. He said, "For me and everyone can have their own opinion. It is too simple to put things loss on rotation because I think too many players didn't reach their normal levels, which is true. Salah wasn't, Dominic Soboslai wasn't. This is not only the ones that started, but also the ones that came on off the bench. I did not see Gakpo. Nunes tried, but not enough. For me, it had a lot to do with the players' playing style of the opponent, who made it really, really difficult for us. But in the end, if we didn't win, you would try to look at you would try to look at as many arguments as you can find. Of course, I get it. I get it. A lot of things are going to be said about why we did not win, why things went the way they went. Somebody needs a scapegoat. Everyone is looking for a scapegoat, and I'm telling you, if you keep looking, you will always find it. But the truth of the matter is this: the team did not just perform so well. They do not look like they were in agreement in terms of movement, in terms of how they play, their playing style and everything. Something that I'm hoping that maybe during the 72 hours the manager was working on, and they're hoping that he fix it. Did you know Darwin Núñez has netted 9 times in his last 18 games in the Euro for the club, and a goal against Milan would see him reach 10 European goals in the 50 fewest numbers of games in club history. Sadio Mane with 13, Mohamed Salah with 13, Robbie Fowler with 16, as well as Roger Hunt with 18, and reached a double figure in fewer than 20 matches. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that. Oh, we have not. We're not sitting down in this season, but he would be an ideal if we announce himself, if he gets a chance to be given. Of course, I get it. It is a new ref for the Reds, so there is no previews with the referees of the match, as the Norway referee has never foreseen a game involving Liverpool or AC Milan. He refereed against Olympics in the last summer, and this was only his 5th game in charge of the Champions League fixture for the group stages. Of course, so it's a good thing. We get to see a new ref. So I don't know. A lot of things that were said here, they were actually starting to bore me. But all we know, people, we know what we need to do. We all know what we're expecting to see. We need Liverpool to show us something. We need Liverpool to go and perform. We need them to show that they do have the consistency to come and perform in a big game like this. Champions League is back. We always make Champions League games exciting, and we need to show a bit of that. The manager have said it. Everyone have said it. Now it's time for the Reds to come and perform, because if we don't, then we are gonna be in trouble, people. We need to see some changes. We need to see a lot of things that will be happening. But I'm excited. Let's see what happens as we move on with the new season. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the Connect, because that's the best way you support us. It is the Football Connect LFC, and let's see what happens, people. Click that like button, subscribe to the TFC, and we will be back. Anyway, let me just check if there's anything that I'm leaving out. But no, it's just some good pictures of how the club, the whole stadium will look like. But all you know, Liverpool players, Mohamed Salah, you owe us one. Andy Robertson, you owe us one. Dominic Szoboszlai, you owe us one. Go and perform for the team. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Football Connect. This is my build-up for the game. I'll be back again tomorrow with a live video as we talk about the players that are going to be playing, and we hinted out what we're expecting from the team. But all you know for now, peace. Subscribe to the TFC. We'll see you soon. This is TFC LFC, by the way. So check it out.
Beats the goalkeeper. You're just lost for words. He is just brilliant. Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff.